glass shattering voice echoed in the room, followed by a scream of a woman. How the hell is that Kim Tae-hyung still alive? And you, useless creature, didn't you say to me to leave cause you will do the rest of the work, huh? Then why are you saying now that he's alive? Jason, calm down. I did push him into that river by myself, but I don't know how he survived. You yourself hit his head with that rod, don't you remember? I myself am shocked to know how he is still alive. Jason, I thought my half work of becoming the king of his empire is done. But because of your stubborn decision, he is still alive. What was I supposed to do instead? Huh? That Jungkook was about to arrive there, and what if he saw you there? Do you think he and his men would have left you alive after knowing you tried to? Taehyung, we had to do the further parts of our plan also. That's why I told you to leave, and I'll push him in the river, Jason. Now what are we supposed to do? At least till now you had access to his house and office, but what if he had seen you pushing him? We are doomed now. He did not saw me pushing him. He was holding his head at that time when I pushed him. He didn't see me, Jason. Then why are you wasting your time here? Go there and find out if you still have a chance or not. I will meet you after some days now. That Jungkook is already suspecting me. I don't want to give him any hints. Ryan and Taehyung were sitting inside the shop waiting for the person who that boss guy called, saying that Taehyung was their son. Mr. Choi, do you know that man Taehyung? Taehyung, I don't know him, Appa. Ryan, why was he calling you king? Taehyung, I don't know. He said, and then they stopped talking when they saw a lot of luxurious cars stopping outside of their shop, making Ryan sad. Ryan POV. Someone recognized Taehyung and called his family. Now they were here maybe. I should be happy that he will meet his family again, but I'm feeling sad that he will leave me. I don't even know if I will meet him again. What if he has someone in his life already? All these thoughts were eating me up. When the car door opened, Taehyung held my hand tightly. Maybe he was nervous to meet his family. I gave his hand a squeeze to tell him that everything will be okay. Just then, a lady around my mom's age came inside our shop and quickly hugged Taehyung and then kissed his whole face while tears were falling from her eyes. You're alright, my tete. I thought I lost you, my child. She was talking to him while Taehyung was looking at her with nothing but confusion. Taehyung, who are you? The woman looked at him, shocked, not knowing the whole situation. Ryan understood the situation and decided to help the woman by telling her everything. Ryan, Auntie, he doesn't remember his life before his accident, she said, and the woman was about to say something when a car stopped outside the shop and a girl came out from the car and quickly came in the shop, hugging Taehyung out of nowhere. She broke the hug and held his face. She was about to kiss his lips when he pushed her away from himself and stood beside Ryan while holding her hand. Taehyung, don't touch me. The girl looked at him with a little fear in her eyes before asking, Taehyung, what do you mean, woman? Taehyung, my peer, she is Sarah. Don't you remember her? You were about to get married, she said, making Taehyung's hold on Ryan's hand get loosened a little, making Ryan also look at their hands, which he kept in his till now as if she'll disappear. But now he left her hand. She doesn't know why she doesn't like this at all. She wants to hold his hand even tighter than him, but the woman's words made her rethink her decision, and she also took her hand away, looking downwards. Sarah, what do you mean, Mrs. Kim? Why wouldn't Taehyung recognize us? Mrs. Kim, he's saying he has lost his memories. Sarah, Taehyung baby, don't you remember me? We were about to get married, baby. It's okay if you don't remember me, but I'll make you remember everything. Come, let's go back home. She held his hand and pulled him, but he didn't move from his position, making her look at him again. Mrs. Kim, Taehyung, why aren't you coming, baby? Let's go. Mrs. Kim also came towards him, but he took a step back from them before answering. Taehyung, you don't touch me. I don't like it, he said while looking towards Sarah, making her a little angry. But she controlled her emotions, trying not to make anyone notice it. And then they looked towards Mrs. Kim with a soft gaze, cause he could feel a pure connection with her, and the worry in her eyes was screaming her care towards him. Taehyung, ma'am, I can't remember if you are mom or not, but my heart is telling me to hug you again. Can I? He asked her politely, and she nodded quickly, while tears were rolling down her eyes, and then she quickly hugged her son, making him hug her back, while his eyes also got moist. Wine and her parents were smiling, looking at the adorable scene in front of them. Wine POV. I was being a little selfish a while ago to think about not letting him leave. But looking at his mom, I can't bring myself to stop him. Even if I don't know why, but it's hurting me even thinking about being away from Taehyung. I wiped my tears when I saw the mother-son parting away from the hug. Mrs. Kim, let's go home now. Son, your friend is thinking he's the reason that you were away from us. He's just staying in his house and not meeting anyone. You have to come for him. Taehyung, friend? Mrs. Kim, your Jungkookie? She chuckled and continued with sadness visible on her face. The day when he couldn't save you from falling from the bridge, he started considering himself responsible for all that. Taehyung looked downwards, thinking about the only voice which he remembers from his pre-accident life. Then he remembers calling his name when he fell down from the bridge, and now he could understand that maybe the Jungkook his mom is talking about was the owner of that voice, and decided that he had to go back in order to know who he actually was. He then looked behind towards the girl for whom his heart was beating till now and will keep on beating for now on. Wine, the girl who has taken so much care of him, who gave him his second life and then became his reason to live for. He held her hand and took her inside their house through the door inside the shop to talk with her first. He knows that the girl he just met might be a part of his past, but he just can't deny the feeling he has for this girl that was looking at him with her two eyes while her nose was red by now because she was also crying looking at Mrs. Kim. He made her sit on a chair in the living room from where they could easily see the people outside who were waiting for him to take him with them. Taehyung, I'll go with them just for some days, Ryan, and I'll come back to you quickly. Just wait for me, he said while caressing her cheek. Ryan kept her hand on his hands before answering him. Ryan, you don't have to worry about me, Taehyung. I'll be okay. I'm not saying that it is easy for me to let you go when I know that maybe this will be the last time we'll meet, but I somewhere knew from the first day that one day you will have to go to your family back, and maybe you might have someone in your life already. She looked towards Sarah, who was outside, and then continued. And I think you should go back to your past. My full support is with you. Taehyung. By past, are you referring to Sarah, Ryan? Ryan. Taehyung. But Ryan, I don't feel anything towards her. I don't know if I was going to get married to her. Then why do I not feel any connection with her? Like I felt one instantly when Mrs. Kim hugged me. I rather feel uncomfortable with her wine. Wine I love. He was about to confess to her, but stopped when he remembered her words. I think you should go back to your past. My full support is with you. Maybe she does not like you the way you like her, Theo. Don't make her feel uncomfortable with you by confessing, he said to himself and was about to continue when Sarah, are you done, baby? Will you not introduce me to your friend also? She came towards them and stood in front of Wine by forwarding her hand for a handshake, which Wine accepted and smiled a little. Sarah, I hate that you saved Theo. Thank you. She was checking Wine up and down, judging her maybe, making her a little uncomfortable, which Taeyang didn't like even a bit. Taeyang, stop looking at her like that, miss, he said and held Wine's hand while going outside. He stood in front of the middle-aged couple who took care of him till now as if he was their own son. He bowed in front of them, expressing his gratitude with his gesture before hugging Mrs. Joy. Taeyang, thank you, Mom, for taking care of me till now. Mrs. Joy, where have you learned that you have to thank your mom, huh? Taeyang, okay, I'm sorry, I'll not say thank you, he said while chuckling, making them also chuckle at his cute face. Taeyang, okay then, I will go now, he said, and they both nodded. He then turned towards Ryan and hugged her tightly, not caring about anyone, because right now he just wanted to give his heart a little relief to be able to be away from her. Ryan also hugged him back, but someone was throwing daggers at them with just a gaze. They broke the hug and he left from there, followed by his mom, Sarah, and all those men who came to take him. Wine was not looking at his leaving figure till now, but when she heard the car leaving, she immediately went outside, but stopped looking at the car and leaving away from there. Taeyang entered a huge mansion with his mom and was looking everywhere with his confused eyes. As he entered, every person there was bowing towards him, making him more confused. He then looked forward and saw a boy around his age looking at him with tears in his eyes. He felt a strange feeling in his heart looking at him. He was about to talk to him, but the boy ran towards him and hugged him for some seconds before giving him a punch on his chest. Jungkook, where were you till now, rascal? I was here dying every day thinking I couldn't save you. Taeyang, I didn't remember any of you guys. That is why I didn't come earlier, he said, not minding the earlier punch that guy gave him. It was as if he was habitual with this guy. Jungkook was about to say something to him, but he stopped when he noticed Sarah looking at them from behind. Sarah, baby, why don't you take some rest for now? You can meet Jungkook after a while. Taeyang, do you live here? Sarah, what? Taeyang, I asked, do you live here? Sarah, no, I don't. Taeyang, then leave for now. I'll meet you when I feel like it, he said and turned towards Jungkook while his mom was smiling slightly while looking at Sarah's slight angry face. Jungkook, come Taeyang, I will show you your room. He then took him to his room. Jungkook, Auntie said you don't remember anything. Do you really not remember anything? Taeyang, yes, I don't even know who I really am. And what relationship do I have with you all and that girl? Jungkook, don't worry, I'll tell you everything. You sit here. He made him sit on the sofa in his room and then sat in front of him. Jungkook, my name is Jungkook and we are friends from childhood. You are the CEO of Kim Amos Private Limited. You are referred as king in this big business and I work work with you basically as your right hand, you can say. Taeyong, that's why that man was calling me king earlier. Jungkook, and about Sarah? Taeyong, was I really going to marry her? Cause if I was, then why do I not even like her sight when I instantly felt some connection with you and Mrs. Kim? Jungkook, you were going to get married with her, but I don't know why. You never liked her, and when I used to ask you why you were doing that, you always used to change the topic, saying you will tell me at the right time. The day of your accident also, Sarah was the only one there when you fell. She could have easily saved you, but she didn't. Until I reached there, it was late already. I had doubt on her from that day. Taeyong, are you trying to say that she might have pushed me? Jungkook, you definitely knew something about her that I didn't. That's why you were keeping an eye on her by that marriage thing. Taeyong, do I have any enemy or something? Jungkook, well, no one would dare to be your enemy, but there can be anyone whom you don't know. Taeyong, and that unknown enemy might be related to Sarah. Jungkook, should we ask her? Taeyong, no, let her be free. Then only she will take us to the truth herself. Jungkook, okay then, take some rest for now. I will meet you later. Taeyong, A few days later, all these days Taeyong was busy with Jungkook, learning about the work he used to do and getting familiar with the new atmosphere. He was too busy, but during all this, the only thing his heart wanted was to go back to that flower shop and sleep in the embrace of that girl, who used to be the very first person he would see once he gets up in the morning. Meanwhile, Ryan was also not in any better state than him, but in worse. She would just work and not talk much, but was making her parents also worried. Ryan POV. It's midnight and I'm in my room looking at my pictures with Taeyong. I'm missing him a lot, and the feeling I'm feeling right now just can't be just because he's my friend. No matter how much I deny, but my heart is screaming that I'm in love with him. I just want to run in his arms and cry my heart out right now. If I see him, I'll never let him leave me again. I was thinking all this, but then I heard a sound of a car stopping outside our house. I quickly got up, thinking, what if it's Taeyong? I got out in my lawn and my heart started beating loudly when I saw Taeyong standing in front of me.